Victimisation. The fourth kind of discrimination, defined by the discrimination law, is victimisation. For the discrimination law to be effective, it is important that employees are free to make complaints of discrimination in good faith, without fear of reprisal. The discrimination law therefore provides that discrimination occurs when an employer treats an employee less favourably than other employees are or would be treated because the person has made a complaint under the discrimination law, brought proceedings against any person under the discrimination law, given evidence or given information in connection with the discrimination law, done anything in connection with the discrimination law, or made any allegation that a person has acted in contravention of the discrimination law. This is a wide-ranging protection, which essentially means that any allegation of breach of the discrimination law or any activity supporting another individual's complaint is likely to be protected. Fred is taken to a tribunal, accused of selecting an employee, Jane, for redundancy on the grounds that she is trying for a family. At the tribunal hearing, Paul, one of his other employees, gives evidence of some derogatory comments that Fred had made about pregnancy and working mothers in the past. The tribunal upholds the complaint and awards £10,000 compensation. Fred is furious with Paul for his disloyalty and withholds a pay rise that would normally be given because of the money he believes that Paul has cost him. This would be unlawful victimisation. Although Paul has not complained of discrimination himself, he has supported the claim of another employee, and this is enough. Importantly, the protection does not depend on the discrimination complaint itself being well-founded. Even if an employee is wholly mistaken and wrongly believes that he or she has been discriminated against, it will still be unlawful for an employer to take an action against them. After she was made redundant from her last job, Jane took her employer to a tribunal, alleging victimisation on the grounds of her sex. She was unsuccessful, and the case was reported in the Jersey Evening Post. When Jane applies to Frank for a job, Frank remembers the press coverage and decides that Jane is a troublemaker, and therefore he does not give her the job. This would be unlawful victimisation. Jane is being treated less favourably because she has made a complaint of discrimination, and although the complaint was not upheld, there is no evidence that it was made in bad faith. The fact that the original complaint was made against a previous employer rather than Frank makes no difference. The only exception to the rule is where the employee has given false information or made a false complaint in bad faith. Bad faith can generally be taken to mean either that the employee knows that the allegation is false or is acting from some sort of ulterior motive in making the complaint. It is not enough, however, for the employer to believe that the employee was acting in bad faith. This must actually be true. A tribunal is likely to require clear evidence of this before holding that an employee has lost the right not to be victimised. Joe complains that his manager made derogatory comments to him in relation to his sexuality during his appraisal. In the ensuing investigation, the manager denies this, and a fellow employee comes forward to say that Joe approached him, suggesting that they try to get rid of the manager by accusing him of being homophobic. The employer then launches a disciplinary process, which concludes that Joe made malicious complaint against his manager. A tribunal would be likely to find that there was no victimisation in this case. There is clear evidence that Joe deliberately made a false allegation and was acting in bad faith.